I remember when the marketing for Sonic X Shadow Generations was just in full drive and we were figuring out so much information, and a lot of it made sense. I mean, new levels being revealed, new bosses. However, I remember the one thing that blew us all back, and that pretty much none of us expected, was a cross-promotion between both this game and the upcoming Sonic Movie 3, which, yes, in less than a week, will officially be out. While a little polarizing at first, in retrospect, this is actually a really genius marketing decision. It builds up hype for the upcoming film, and it increases brand synergy, which is something that Sega has been really passionate about recently. However, despite the shocking nature of this DLC's existence and what it would contain, not a lot of information was made available. And up until its recent release on December 12th, there really wasn't a lot of news about it and it didn't really get brought up, so I didn't really know what to expect. Well, now I have played it, and I can answer the question. Does this DLC level consist of the same quality as the game it's a part of? Short answer, heck yeah. Long answer, well, that's what the rest of this video is. But real quick, if you do end up enjoying this full discussion, please be sure to leave a like, it helps out immensely, more than you know. And be sure to subscribe for more Sonic uploads. With that said, let's talk more about the stage. So for the uninitiated, which I don't think any of you exist because everyone knows about this DLC, this is a Tokyo level based off of one of the settings of the third film, where Keanu Reeves' Shadow makes his official debut. What the story context is Game Shadow uncovers a portal to another dimension in another time, and this is what we know as the movie universe. He takes on a different form of his own and takes on a different voice from his own. He's basically just racing through the streets of Tokyo, avoiding GUN, yada yada yada. Now this setup is actually really cool. I doubt any of this is actually canon, they just needed some narrative reason to justify this DLC's existence, but it's still a cool way of giving us some Movie 3 scenery, and in a way having us play through a section of that film. And the presentation also holds up really well. The cutscene animation is solid, the level itself looks really nice. The music is decent, probably one of the more memorable tracks of the entire game actually. And yeah, much like the base game, this feels like a AAA Sonic experience, and you'll see that with all of the spectacle and pure chaos that happens during this level. But is it actually fun to play? Well, of course it is. Like I mentioned earlier, this level does not differ. There is no dip in quality from what's presented in the base game. The flow of the stage is immaculate. There's a ton of different pathways. It is an absolute blast to master and really optimize your time. And Chaos Control is actually utilized really well, with it being a requirement to really master certain sequences and take certain shortcuts and routes. If I was more articulate on game design, this would be a much longer video, but really all I can say is everything I liked about Shadow Generations is present in this level. This is very much a Shadow Gens level. If I had to rank this, it would be below Chaos Island and below Kingdom Valley, but above everything else in the game. That's how strong the design is here. If I had to think of one con, which is a pretty big one, at least for certain types of players, it is the unskippable cutscenes that happens during the act. On the first time playing, these will be really cool. You have Shadow doing a bunch of cool shit, just absolutely wrecking GUN, like forcing people out of helicopters, just all this cool stuff going on. It looks nice. But, like I mentioned before, you cannot skip these. So when you're replaying this level and trying to master your time, learn the layout and whatever, you will have to sit through these over and over and over and over again. One of these set pieces lasts like almost up to a minute. They're cool, but man. And the first one doesn't even have a QuickTime event in it. Like, it doesn't even give you the illusion of interactivity. But yeah, that's really the only negative thing I can say about the level itself. I didn't know where to fit this into the video, but I guess I'll just talk about it right now. They actually did a pretty good job of bringing over Movie Shadow's design into the video game. The movie designs aren't really my cup of tea, but I get what they were going for because of the film setting, you know, that being live action in the human world. Shadow's design looks fine in Movie 3, and they did a decent job translating it into Shadow Generations. Speaking of Movie 3 Shadow, let's talk about the breathtaking man himself, Keanu Reeves. Unless you've been living under a rock, you should be well aware that Movie Shadow is voiced by Keanu Reeves, and he reprises his role in this DLC. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are living in a timeline where Keanu Reeves does voice work for a Sonic game. Regardless of how you feel about the actor, regardless of how you feel about the movies, the novelty of this is pretty awesome. But unfortunately, me being me, I have to find something negative to say. And I'm not sure how popular of an opinion this is. I've seen this be pretty divisive with a lot of people agreeing with me and a lot of people not. But I really do not like Keanu Reeves' performance as Shadow. It leaves a lot to be desired. I'm not talking about in this DLC alone. I mean, he is obviously phoning it in here. Unfortunately, video games are still looked down upon as a art form, as a medium, as a device for very intricate storytelling. So when you have big movie names appear and guest star for popular video game franchises, they really just do not try their performances at all. And plus, voice work is quite a departure from live action acting. So yeah, he sounds horrendous as Shadow, I'll just be honest. But even in movie 3, I just really do not like his voice for Shadow. He sounds like a very grizzled old man, and it's weird because the marketing has really been hyper-focusing on Keanu's passion for the character. Like, Keanu has spoken in multiple interviews how dedicated he was to getting this character right. And I'm not alleging anything against him, I'm not saying he didn't try, but it doesn't sound like he's trying in some of the clips that have been shown of movie 3. He sounds very detached, his voice sounds he sounds bored. You guys know me, I prefer Shadow to have a voice like his Japanese counterpart or like David Humphrey that's more soft-spoken and not trying to do a Batman impression. So yeah, Keanu Reeves as Shadow really isn't anything special to me aside from the blatant novelty of it. While we're talking about negatives, I should also get into a huge thing about this DLC that I've been saying towards the end. And that is just the lack of content. I mean, okay, I can finally just say it. Why did we only get one level? This is a priced DLC that's included in the priced season pass, so I expected for there to be at least 2 acts. I'm not talking for a whole extension with all this shit going on, but like, if you're gonna make one level, at least give it 2 acts. Why is there only 1 act in this expansion? And the level isn't even that long either. I mean, Kingdom Valley, Sunset Heights, and especially Chaos Island are like double the time that it takes you to beat this level. And keep in mind, that's with the unskippable set pieces included. So yeah, the amount of content that we got and the length of that content just didn't really satisfy me at all. And I could forgive this. I could be whatever about this if they allowed us to use Movie Shadow as a playable skin, but they don't even allow that. Which is crazy because that sounds like the most obvious thing in the world, like Movie Shadow being a playable skin. But it's not a thing, and for people like me who play on PC, this won't really matter because a modder would just take care of it. But still, this just strikes me so weird. I mean, it just sounds like the most obvious thing to do. So in conclusion, would I recommend this DLC? Well, it depends. You get 1 level with 1 act and 2 extra challenge acts, which like most other challenge acts are like under a minute long. But the content you do get, what little of it there is really fun and really well designed. So I would recommend this DLC if you are a Sonic fan and you really love Shadow Gens and you want to play more of it, and especially if you're also a fan of the movieverse, movie 3 especially. But if not, I'd say you don't really need to be in a rush to get this. But yeah, I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Do leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more Sonic content. I upload pretty frequently. And real quick, I just want to talk about my Sonic audio drama, Sonic Evolution. This is a project that I've been working on for the last several months that means the world to me. It features a lot of great talent and I put my heart into the story. And it comes out December 31st. So if you want to be notified whenever it drops, subscribe and have notifications on. You can watch the first 6 minutes of it right now on this channel. Link in the description and also on the end card on your screen. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching and I will see you all later. Bye for now.